Hello to everyone, today I will show you and try to explain how to play GTA 4 story missions in multiplayer with your friends. I want to show you 3 different methods of connection, but at first I must warn that they all have problems with the stability. It means that you or your friend will regularly experience game crashes, connection losses and other unpleasant things. Some kind of missions even just impossible to finish in co-op, so in this case the host must finish it for alone. But if you like this part of the GTA series as I do, then I think it will not a big problem to you. I want to add from myself that it is advisable to have a second monitor, especially to the player who will connect to the host. In this case, a player in a row as a host should streaming his screen via Discord. This is necessary in order to see cutscenes and also helpful to hear the speech of characters during them dialogues. Also sometimes navigation will be disappearing from the minimap on the client side, so it will be helpful to navigate by watching stream from the host screen. As you might already understand, only the host will have a full gaming experience, while the clients will have a lack of many things like navigation, dialogues, etc. So, okay, let's move on to the first method, which in my opinion is the most preferable. At the first you must have a licensed copy of the game from the Steam or another game store, but the Steam version is recommended because if you messed up you can easily and fast restore all your files. Secondly, you must have installed Radmin VPN. It is needed to simulate a local connection between players. In fact, you can try other similar programs and methods, but Radmin is the simplest way. You can find the link in the description below. After installing the game and the program, you must download a bunch of additional mods. So let's go in order. If you don't wanna download everything separately, you can just download only my bundle from description below, but I think it will not be available forever. At first you should download XLLN or X-Lifelessness from GitLab. The link you can find in description. Next you should download the Downgrader with ZPatch by Zolika for your game. Here you are free to choose between two versions, 1070 or 1080. I didn't notice any difference in stability, but for more FPS you should use 1080 version. And for better compatibility with XLLN, use version 1070. Now you can finally download ZMenu for GTA 4 by Zolika. With this modification it becomes possible to launch story mission in multiplayer. I would like to add from myself that the author is a genius and I am very regretted by the fact that he has made decision to close this project. This step is optional, but you will need to download my config files for ZPatch in ZMenu for more comfortable experience. I made two versions for host and client. It just simplifies setup to start lobby and almost consistent with the recommendations of XLLN. After downloading everything what was needed, you can proceed to installation. First of all, it's necessary to downgrade your game by using Downgrader from Zolika. Open folder with the exe file of the game and just extract here everything from zip archive with replace. On the video you can see my example with version 1080, but you can choose other version. Then run VC released x86exe, and after it, if you didn't download my bundle, you also must rename file xlivedll into d input 8dll. Next step is installation of ZMenu. Open zipvisit and extract everything in folder with exe file of game. Now if you downloaded my configs, just decide who you will be, host or client, and extract files into the game directory. And finally you can extract files of X-Lifelessness, except a folder XLLN hub server if you have it. Now run the game by using play GTA 4 exe and use only this launcher further. In the game you need set up settings for yourself. Might notice it's important to use only official localizations which prints out with game. I don't recommend to use specific localizations, using them will significantly increase the count of crashes from the game in many missions. Before loading a save or creating new one, you should press Home on your keyboard, and then in opened window do next few steps. First, you must write your nickname to input, but use only English letters and numbers, without symbols or spaces. You can set after login to true, but for make it working we must do some steps later. Then open tab with network adapters and choose Formatec Radmin VPN. For now select the input of broadcast addresses and type here symbol of colon and 0. And lastly press login button and return focus to the game back. Now you can load into save, and after loading or starting new one save, you should quit from the game. After come back onto the desktop, you need to open again folder of exe file of game. And here open folder xlifelessness and edit XLLN config1 ini file by your default text editor. For me it's Notepad++. Go down of this text file and make sure if it's all correct. I mean your nickname, broadcast address and network adapter. They must be configured. If it's not, you should do it in manual through this file. Also, you can set xlife after login on xlife initialize to 1 and xlife user after login p1 also to 1. At the end, if you have powerful computer and monitor with a high refresh rate, you can change xlife FPS limit to 162 or something what you have. But remember, one mission or maybe even more will be crashing by this. And now just save changes and close the file. As all manipulations with files are done, you can proceed to the process of creating and joining to the game session. Since the host is the who starts the game lobby, let's start figure out the launch steps for him. Make sure that Radmin VPN is opened and configured for joining. Also check XLLN by pressing Home button on keyboard. You must be sure that your login and adapter set properly. Everything here is quite simple. The main thing you must remember is the sequence. After entering the game and loading your save, you need to pick up your mobile phone using the up arrow on the keyboard. Now you need to select the following sequence: multiplayer, player match, LAN, create match, free mode, start game, yes, press enter in lobby. When you load it into game world, press F7. For navigating in this menu, use numpad buttons. 8 is up, 2 is down, 5 is select, 0 is return back. Now you go to MP functions and game tweaks. Here you must check first 3 options. They must be enabled. Also you can check a section SP features. Honestly, it's very subjective. I customized it for myself, leaving the most important things. But you should remember that every additional enabling any option here increases the risk of crashing. If you want to change something and make it permanent, you should go to the folder of that menu and change it into the file default settings ini. But remember, all your clients must have the same settings in this section. Now return to section Game Tweaks and select SP Co-op. Then select Quick Start from Save Game and there server-side Quick Start. Now it's very important to press Escape and after it press arrow left on keyboard. If you choose by different method, there will be no load option in menu. After pressing arrow left, you must turn off after saves and clip capture. Then you go to load and select your save file. Now your friend can join to you. So let's look at the joining process. The same as in the case of the host, the client must check his connection to Radmin VPN and also settings for XLLN. After checking all, he needs to load the save game. And after loading, first the client must press F7. As I said before, use numpad buttons for navigating. 8 is up, 2 is down, 5 is select, and 0 is return back. After you must select MP functions and then game tweaks. Here you must check first 3 options. They all must be enabled. Also you can check section SP features. And here synchronize all options with the host, if he had changed something. After checking, go back by 0 to the game tweaks and select SP Co-op. Make sure here that option disable traffic is enabled. Now again, make sure that everything in custom sync section is matching to the host settings. After synchronize options, move back to SP Co-op and select Quick Start from Save Game. And there pick client side Quick Start. I recommend pressing it several times. Now you can finally start joining by using the phone. The sequence here is almost the same. Go to multiplayer, player match, LAN, quick match, free mode and press yes. After some while, if everything was done correctly, you should be connected. And look, sometimes happens that the client seems to have connected, but as a ghost, and on the top of screen will be a notice about it. I don't know why this happens, but different actions might help in such cases. First, just try both of you, host and the client, to press option Fix Ghost Status for New Player in the SP Co-op section. If you don't remember, it's located in that menu if you press F7. If this doesn't help, which happens quite often to me, the client needs to leave the game by closing it by Alt+4. At this time, host needs to drive a car as far as possible from where he was. If the world starts disappearing and the game freezing, just multiple times press escape. If after that everything goes well, the client can try to join. Or if the host cannot reload the world and the client still cannot join, so in this case everyone just will have to restart the game and start all again. Also, here's my other recommendation: the host should save the game every time after he completes mission. Since driving to the apartments every time is his hosting, I recommend using that menu. Just press F7 and go to the main section, select options, then section helpful. Then go to line 22 and select save menu. As I promised before, let's very quickly go through the other two methods. In the second method we need to download and install GTA Connected. I'll leave a link in the description as well as a shortcut in my bundle. Unfortunately, to make it works, you will also have to do all the same steps as in method 1. It means install everything except of XLLN, but with it will also work. So, go to the site, download the launcher, and host must also download server. You also can get free dedicated server by using service optilink.com. This is not an advertisement, so I won't explain how to handle with it. After complete downloading, let's firstly look at how to set up the server. Extract it and go to the file server XLML. Open it with any text editor. There are truly a lot of settings, not all of them are known to me, but I recommend set next. In port and HTTP port options type your opened port. In password option, write your password for join. If you already downloaded my bundle, just change only port and password. In game option, enter GTA:/IV. In IV game mode option, enter 8. And in the end of list of CVARs or custom variables, you should add CVAR with property name with value IV SP Co-op and property value with 1 inside quotes. If all done correct, then just start the server by running server.exe. Now need to configure launcher of GTAC after it has been installed. This step actual for host and client. Open launcher and select Tools tab and launcher settings in it. Then write your nickname and press OK. Again select Tools and now Game Settings. For now need to specify a path for game. Press Browse and find directory with your GTA 4 exe file. Also don't forget to uncheck Disable Story Mode option. Other options you can test for yourself. After configuration of launcher is done, search your server in browser list. And now host or player with the save files must join first. But I almost forgot mention, save files from GCC are located in other directory. So you must press combination with start button plus R and type appdata. Now go by path appdata, local, Rockstar Games, GTA 4, save games. And here find your directory with saves and copy them to the GTAC folder. Now you can finally join to your server. After loading, press escape and left arrow on keyboard. In this tab just select load and then load your save file. Your clients can join now also. And few notes: despite the simplicity and speed of entry, unfortunately, me with my friend were not able to complete the missions normally. Game crashes were too frequent. And even more missions become unavailable for co-op. Also, if you and your friend are unable to connect via a public IP address, then you can also use Radmin, in which case you will have to manually add your local server to the GTAC launch. And finally, last method, with using games for Windows Live. It's well described in another video, on which one I will also leave a link in the description. It was made by a user with the nickname Cat with Cigarette. This would be a good way to play in co-op, but unfortunately servers of games for Windows Live works very bad. It means you can't play in any time when you want, because invitations will stop working from time to time. Also, the version of ZMenu in the Downgrader is too old, so because of this a lot of things missing, especially lacks of the quick save menu option. I really hope that my guide was helpful to you all. This video turned out to be very long and difficult for me, so I will be glad if you push like and leave a comment. And thanks for watching.